Hello, my monstrosities. Hello once again. Today I bring to you a tournament quick overview. I don't think I'm going to spend as long on this upcoming tourney overview as I do on the other videos because I I I can't. There's 20 teams registered. There's 160 players. I am not going through every single team like the list by list. I might do a quick overview for what I can do. But the roster is looking stacked. There are some tough players coming out to this event, and it will be happening an hour from the start. It will be starting an hour from when this video goes up. That's how we want to say that. I upload 7 a.m. my time. As you can see, it will be 8 a.m. my time when the event starts. And don't worry, we're going to talk about some more things about that. So, BFS, what's going on here? The rosters are loaded. Now, before we get into the analysis part, I guess, of what some teams are bringing overall and thinking about, weird choices, I want to point out some of the funnies for whatever reason, the oddities list that I found initially looking through it. So, first up, we have Reese, who has Rady Gaga as the list name, and instead of Reaper's Wager or even Sky Splinter Assault, is bringing Drukari on Real Space Raiders. Now, I guess I should have noted this before I clicked on this. I don't for videos that go up before the event, I don't go through all of the things in the list because, hey, you should at least have to pay for BCP to have that competitive advantage, I guess. But, I mean, I guess you could see that they are bringing Archon, Beastmaster, Lilith, and Urian so far. But yeah, Rady Gaga, hilarious. Real Space Raiders, Drew Kari. Drew Kari is already going to be a tough enough include. I don't know how you convinced your team to let you do not only Drew Kari, but Real Space Raiders, but I look forward to seeing how this goes. Next, we have Olivier, who is bringing Blood Angels Liberated Assault Group. And you might go, what's so special about Blood Angels? We've seen them before. It's the fact that I wouldn't have expected Olivier to be bringing the Blood Angels out of people to be bringing Blood Angels on that list, on that team. So, sometimes it's just funny because of who's taking it. Or, this shouldn't say funny, but it's interesting. Then we have this one. We'll get to Albert, like, team overall, but Albert here is bringing Imperial Knights. And you'd go, again, that's a staple. It even has Canis Rex, who in this case is Star Captain Hector Shaw. Uh, what's special about Imperial Knights? It's the fact that Albert's team, which I believe I read Albert is the captain here, is also bringing Chaos Knights. And there seems to be a lot of wolf shenanigans going on there. That's not anything to say anything, but just saying they seem to be having a wolf theme. And two members of the team are bringing some version of knights, and one of them has Canis Rex. So, if honestly, I would love to see this team shake up the team meta in this regard. Where, you can usually go, oh, alright, somebody's bringing Chaos Knights, and the off chance second choice, somebody goes, alright, I don't play Chaos Knights, but I play Imperial Knights. We need Imperial Knights, right? So it'd be nice to see this team shake people up with the fact that they've brought both of the Knight factions. Um, then we have Joseph, who has brought Imperial agents. Now, if you've seen Joseph's name before, you'd go, no, that tracks. I think it's the fact that somebody commits to the bit still and is bringing Imperial agents. Joseph's last list with Imperial agents has a funny name there, but I think that they changed it to be, I don't know, safe on this one, so I won't tell you what it is on this video, but it is funny if you go find it. It's not that bad, but, hey, if they changed their name, they did it for a reason, I guess, right? Then next up, David Gaylor is on Ultramarines Gladius Task Force. And again, this isn't a case of anything being weird here. We've seen David Gaylord, we've seen Ultramarines, Gladius Task Force, Robu, Girly Man, and Marnius Calgussi, right? We've seen it. Roboody and Calgussi. But it's the fact that David has been on guard for like the entire edition, I think. And there is somebody on his team playing guard, if I remember correctly. Again, we'll get through all of the things. So, don't know what's going on there. And on the same thing of don't know what's going on, uh, I see Quentin also doesn't know what's going on his own team to an extent, while confusing us with not only bringing sisters, it's champions of faith, and also I might break the rule that I say by not going through it because I just covered this and I still want to prove nah. I told y'all the first fucking time that this was good. Hospitlers and Celestian Sacrosanct. That's all we'll show. That's all we'll do right now. But you know, feel no pain, -1 to wound, bricks that in Champions of Faith will have +1 OC, and if they become righteous, they go to move 7, +1 to hit, and is it +1 AP? Something else. I can't remember right now. But Champions of Faith, and going to the list name, I can't believe it's not Awakened Dynasty. Richard Siegler is playing Star Shatter Arsenal, and I believe there's also another Star Shatter Necrons, or at least I know there's at least two, maybe three. And to that point, I agreed with Quentin. I'm like, what the hell are we doing here? But I think I understand what's going to happen, and I don't think again I should talk about that further. If it happens, it happens. If not, oh, if it happens, I'll definitely yap about calling that right. If it doesn't happen, you'll never know if I'm right, or wrong. So there we go. Then, we have Sam Pope, uh, swarm player extraordinaire for us over here in Tyrannage, not playing Tyrannage. In fact, we're playing Berserker War Band World Eaters. I am Anthony Vanilla's biggest fan, someday when I grow up, figuratively, obviously. I hope I can be like him. My dearest desire is that he would say hi to me just once. Also, funny enough, I believe, pulling this right back up, I believe it was in this video when I just covered the Sacrosancts that I said it's odd what people's second faction tends to be. I could have sworn that the reason Sisters don't have more players right now is because they're playing Eldari, which Quentin also plays Eldari, who is not playing Eldari at this event. And in that, I said, yeah, like Tyranid players and World Eaters. I didn't understand how quickly that would come to fruition. Now, if that was on one of the takes that didn't make it to take to the final press, I said that on a recording. But besides that, that is funny. And it's even funnier that I, myself as a Tyranid player, don't like World Eaters that much. I leave that up to my friend. So, hey, sound off in the comments, fellow Tyranid players, what your secondary army is, or if I'm off my rocker with Sisters and Eldari and like Thousand Suns have an overlap there. Um, and then this one is a good one to wrap up the funny list on, or the odd things on. JC Watts, subscribe to Wargames Live, or I will make sure the TO Force pairs you into that weird kid who's playing his homebrew Marines and will tell you why each unit is special compared to the lame Ultramarines in great detail. Until next thing you know, there's an hour left in the round and you want to ask for a clock, but he won't stop talking and you don't want to be rude. The next thing you know, the round is over, bottom turn 1, and when you lose 14 to 12 and complain the weird kid says, well, you should have asked for a clock. 2,000 points, Hammer of the Emperor, Astra Militarum. And on that note, subscribe to Wargames Live, who, as I can last see, will be covering BFS. We'll see which rounds Wargames Live is able to show throughout the event. But I think it will be a good time, so make sure that you try to keep an eye out. It's pretty nice. Now, going back to just the insanity that is 20 teams. We're going to. I'm not going to talk about every single one. I'm just going to call out some things that is interesting, maybe at least one per team. Starting with AP0 Tactics, we have Deathwatch making an appearance. Now, the last time that we saw Deathwatch do something major was Mark Hurdle's win. And that isn't to say that Deathwatch is bad. In fact, regular monstrosities of the channel know how I feel about how people keep forgetting that Deathwatch is still very good and they don't get any bad changes, but yet people go, huh, that was fun that month, and leave them alone. So, uh, Deathwatch being an include, pretty neat. Art of War. Now, I know that technically already just said you have Quentin on Champions of Faith, and Richard Siegler is on Necrons, Star Shatter Arsenal. That is already going on here. But remember when I said that Quentin isn't on Eldari? No, Nick is on Eldar for this situation here. So that's definitely going to be not saying that Nick can't pilot Eldar. I just think that this is all trippy, whatever's going on at Art of War. I like to see people having fun, but if you would have told me to like blindly write who's taking what, eh, I guess that would be the only thing that I get tripped up on, right? Yeah, honestly, I think I would have said that maybe Nick would be taking Sisters and Quentin would be playing Eldari. Looks like they did a bit of a swap there, huh? Next, we have Astronomicon Wargaming, who I think the standout take here is Black Templars. Oh man, recently was having a discussion with one of the monstrosities about Black Templar shenanigans, and I I think that Black Templars are my second Death Watch, where they're a marine thing that people just walk away from letting them do things. And they get deservedly nerfed, and people kind of just stop there. They like, well, I don't need to play this chapter anymore. Um, I think that Black Templars still are okay. Sorry. And apparently somebody else thinks that they're okay enough to bring, so there you go. And we have the team just being BFS, and at first, right? At first, I thought that the Tau inclusion was weird. Oddly enough, there's a decent enough of Tau in teams this event. And you'd go, duh, you usually always have shooting, and that's probably Tau. But the Tau players will tell you that's not really great for them this edition. And on top of that, when you see the skew of the Tau being brought, there's a lot of Kroot. I think you all have finally let go of that weird ass hatred you had for the Kroot. Between Kroot Hunting Pack and Auxiliary Cadre, there's Montka and there's Kalyan. I don't think I saw Rit Cad, and I don't think I saw Experimental. Am I forgetting one? Probably. But yeah, it looks like people are trying Tau right now. Leagues of Votan is cool. And again, we have Drukari. So, BFS, I hope something gets shaken up. Big Dumpster Energy, also bringing a Sisters inclusion. It's Jeffrey, who we've seen bring Sisters, so if I was going to ask for a Sisters pilot right now, it'd probably be Jeffrey. Recently in that sisters video I talked about was one of the proponents of, yeah, you should take sacrosanct with probably the Hospitler. Can't remember if Jeffrey took the Hospitler in his list actually. But there was another one with sacrosanct that did take the triple Hospitler. And it's Hallowed Martyrs, so not Champions of Faith, but it's sisters. So I guess that's just, hey, weird inclusion. Dumpster fire here. We have a lot of the stock standard. Gotta say, even I'm surprised that Tyranids are making some of these team lists, and there actually is one Tyranids player here, from what I saw, that is bringing assimilation swarm. I'm sorry, it's not currently the one on screen, so I probably shouldn't divulge or divert too much, but. Yeah, Tyranids being an inclusion still. I'm glad people still have faith in it being team spot worthy. But to have so many limited spots, I I don't know. I don't know if I have enough faith in my own faction right now. And every one, the reason you bring them in are to fulfill certain roles. It's not always just to win. Sometimes it's to block somebody that would have won big, right? And all of those nice things. So Tyranids making inclusion. I like to see it. And as a Tyranids player, I'm slightly worried for everybody in the current state of the game. But beyond that, good luck everybody playing the Hive Mind at this event. Hammer Park Boys, Dark Angels. They've brought Dark Angels. Um, and here's another one where I think everybody remembers that Deathwing Knights are good and hard to move. And then it's one of those things where everybody acknowledges it so much that you forget that it's still possible. Like you just accept it, and then it happens to you, and then you don't want to accept it. So the fact that there's not only Dark Angels with Deathwing Knights, but also Custodes being brought here, it feels just like what we'll get to with the Double Knights inclusion. So best of luck, people going into them. Then we have Legion of Extraordinary Gentlemen, where we had JC Watts that reminded us to subscribe to War Games Live. Past that, we have some pretty good inclusions. Nice to see that Votan is on people's minds again as far as a team uh, take, right? It's nice to see Votan. Votan does good enough things, right? I don't think that it's busted, and I don't think it's bad. Now, the lack of invulns for most thing, or the lack of great invulns is something to be desired. And to that point, I gotta admit, from what I saw of the Votan, unless I missed it, that's highly possible. I didn't see anybody taking Hearthband, and I understand that probably is not going to happen anytime soon. People have their feelings about Hearthband, but that is a way to get an invuln, I believe, or am I confusing? No, Void Armor was definitely Oathband. Hearthband is the 4-up invuln. So for the way the game is progressing in a very killy manner, where there's more rerolls, there's more +1 to wound, they're undoing a lot of their -1 to wound things. Uh, just saw that Death Lord Terminator's not a Death Guard part right now. Either way, the game's progressing in a weird way that I think Votan will sneak up on some people. So there you go. Now, remember when I said that Kroot was an inclusion over here? And well, if you want Kroot, I want Drew. Again, like there you go. But that's not the only thing that's weird. We have Sean, or yeah, Sean. Maybe it's Sheen. Maybe it's Sheen, but I'm pretty sure it's Sean. I think. Sorry, has AdMech, and if you're taking AdMech, uh, I should double check before I click, but I'm pretty sure this was the one. Yep, Skatari Hunter Cohort. Skatari Hunter Cohort still being brought when also you have somebody bringing crude models uh in the army again. So we had the Deathwing Knights, Custodes combo, Imperial Knights, Chaos Knights combo coming up. Crude as Katari Hunter cohort combo. I'm calling it combo just because like you're like doubling down on the same stat check situation essentially. So that I'm looking forward to this team progression as well. Obliterati. Did I not say nerd? I think I didn't say nerd. Or NERD specifically. I'm sorry. Obliterati. This is where we have David Gaylord on Space Marines, and we have Will Partington. Partington. I'm sorry. On Extra Militarum, and we also had Reese on Drukari. So whatever is going over at the Obliterati, uh, also have Kit Smith Hanna on Votan. So they're seeing a line that I don't know if anybody else is seeing right now, and props to them, right? That shit looks fun as hell. Then we have Obliterati Hotties over here, which has also the double of Chaos Knights and Imperial Knights. And I'm just now realizing, I guess I missed it. This wasn't the duo that had it, but now two people named Thomas are bringing knights with, hey, just why not fuck it? Grey Knights in here too. The Obliterati hotties doing some funny shit over here. So I I'm just we usually don't see too many Chaos Knight and Imperial Knights in the same team. So to see that twice over, I guess I'll see that maybe I'm just completely fucked and I didn't realize it for a lot of teams right now, but yeah, okay, here we go. Rochester Wargaming Club. Rochester? Wargaming Club, sorry. Now, Blood Angels, Death Guard, Imperial Knights. This is the Imperial Knights include that. Sorry, Imperial Agents, not Imperial Knights. Imperial Agents include, where it's like, well, all right, I guess that explains why we're faith trusting and pixie dust in it because fuck it, looks like there is enough room to do it. I'm expecting this to be yeah, they pilot their shit like we're calling this Forces of the Hive Mind. Pretty sure it was GSC, right? Yeah, it was GSC host of Ascension. A little bit disappointed it's not final date when you're calling it Forces of the Hive Mind. If I'm being honest, what are we doing, Ben? Okay, gotta make it final day to rep Forces of the Hive Mind. Jokes aside though, I think nothing is scarier than when you see a bunch of shit that you go, huh, that's not usual, and you realize yeah, that means that they know what they're doing. So that's where you should be concerned. Then, this is where we have Sect Nautilus. And they are bringing Dark Angels, Death Guard, and Custodes. So, I guess I should say Chaos Knights in that same vein too. Good luck. Good luck. That's some shit that's going to be annoying as fuck to get through on 4 tables. So, hey. And here we go with the Sea Wolf that I was talking about. This is where we have Chaos Knights and Imperial Knights, the one I was thinking of before I apparently missed the other one. So that's going to be the funky thing to do in pairings right there. Then you have Stat Check. Stat Check is bringing a lot of their tried and true. But going back to Olivier on Blood Angels, yeah. Hey, you also have Josh Roberts out there on CSM. So I think that Stat check is going to look strong. I just think that this is going to be something. And I believe Ennis is still on host of Ascension for GSC too. So there you go. Team with no name. what they do have is Thousand Suns and Tau together. Yeah, I guess I should throw in Votan for that output situation as well. Necrons, sorry, were you the other Star Shatter I saw? No, you're Awakened Dynasty. Uh, so, props to the one that I would expect to see. But yeah, Tal, Thousand Suns, and Votan should do so it on paper be the ones where you're putting out output. But look at that, Crude Hunting Pack. So, uh, some funky things right there. But again, team with no name, hey, go for it. The away team. That's kind of funny. I didn't notice that name. I think my brain just autofilled. But again, we're looking at Tau, we're looking at Votan. Let's see what it'll get it done. I should just start opening the Tau at these ones for Sucker Punch. Kalyan. Wait, hold on. What? All right, found a new weird thing. Uh, there's a Knickers Sid. All right. Uh, the Chimera. This is where we have Sam Pope on World Eaters. Uh, yeah. Uh, not Chimera has a strong team too, so it's not like a whoa, what are we doing over here in general, people. I should have opened mic because aspect host instead of devoted. Like his Fuegan James Jar aspect host. I actually stopped myself from trying to record an aspect host video. Um, to wonder what the fuck happened with that. Um, what do I mean? That was the one that when the book dropped, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, aspect host. I'm taking Lycus, and I am running people's faces in. I'm taking Fuegan, and I'm making all of you cry. Baharoth too, more or less." But it didn't do the do, and people saw that devoted, even though at first read it was also the opposite, where it's like, this is, what have they done to my Yanari? No. And then it's like, oh wait, it's our shooting phase. Like, that is insane. But to see Eldari being brought with aspect host, I also look forward to that. I also wish somebody please find a reason, a justifying way to bring an avatar. Please. No, I know. The avatar doesn't look good. Now it's lore accurate, so there you go. Um, this is the one where, I tried not to give too many things away. But Garrett here is the one that is on Assimilation Swarm Tyrannage, and I'll stop there. You all know I like Assimilation Swarm in its new iteration. So, and you all know I like Tyranids, so I will be rooting for that to do the do. There is interesting things in that list as well, or I guess I should say not in that list. Um, so it'll be interesting to see how this does in a teams format. Not like, oh no, but like I genuinely just I wonder what the pairing process for that with a interesting exclusion, I guess, will be. Then we have uh, Quebec that I haven't used French in over a decade, close to 2 decades. So there you go. And then we have Tyrannid, Drukari, and Grey Knights in the same team. I just gotta trust the pilots. So I think that BFS has interesting things. Finally, a team tournament, and especially one of this size, doesn't just look like, all right, everybody brought Yanari, Custodes, Space Marines, and actually, even going further to that, not too many people just brought straight up Space Marines. Like, there's not too many just, oh, I'm bringing Space Marines. I'm bringing Bro Booty and Cal Gussie, and we're going to do that. So, it looks strong enough, but not everybody is doing it to the same extent. So, that probably says something good about the health of the game, right? Now, at the same time, I don't know. We know that it's still good, but I think maybe people are seeing it's not good enough because people have played against it so many times now. I don't know. It keeps winning shit, so who knows? But yeah, BFS will be happening, and I will try to watch. I think I will have time this weekend. Maybe, maybe not, but it looks like it'll be a fun event. So yeah, if you like the video, like it. Got a comment for me, comment, and until next time, peace out, my monstrosities.